At Spars Outdoors, we like to use the best of the best products. These guys above are awesome, and I use their products because I trust them, and they absolutely work. Give them a check out and a like on Facebook and Instagram. Hey everybody, welcome back to Spars Outdoors, and this is your fishing report for the week. Let's just start off right down a little bit on Lake St. Clair. Now, I'm not going to do too much down there, but the smallmouth and the muskie are phenomenal fishing right now. I got buddies doing good numbers every day. I know the perch fishing is great. If you know your spots, get to them. I know around 9 Mile out there, they're doing some good perch, and I know they're doing good perch in the channels as well, so out by the shipping channel. If you know your spots, go to them. You can also get into some of those private marinas in your boat, and you can catch some perch right now. I promise you that. But let's not focus too much down there on Lake St. Clair. I know they're getting a few walleyes too. There's still a lot of walleyes down in that Algonac area. They're held up. Water temperature's a little cold. I went fishing last night. I went out in the lake. The temperature, the surface temp, this is, in the lake. So I'm jumping all over the place here, but the surface temperature in the lake is actually 1 degree warmer than it is in the river, which is odd. And I'm talking a little ways south down the river, I was getting 68 on the surface temp, and in the lake I was getting 69.9, so almost 70 degrees. Okay, that's just the surface temp though. Things change, 4 feet below the surface. So that surface temp is definitely warmer in the lake than it is in the river right now, and I'd expect right from like the Blue Water Bridge down to the mouth of Black River, probably be in the 66, 67 area. I'll check that tonight. But other than that, let's just start right back off with the fish report. I wanted to get those water temps out there. There's a lot of walleyes held up in Algonac right now. Algonac for walleyes is doing phenomenal right now, and the Canadian side's 2 degrees cooler than it is on the American side, and they're getting a lot more fish on the Canadian side, all the way from Algonac all the way up into the Lake Huron. So pulling crawler harnesses is doing great. Jigging's doing great. And whipping is good. We went whipping last night. We caught a lot of fish, but we had a lot of throwbacks. We did not catch a limit of keepers on the American side, but we caught a ton of fish. There's a lot of fish in the system. Still a good time to get out there and get fishing. But those walleyes will be moving up from Algonac. I promise you, they will be coming with. I'd get it within the next. Could be tonight, any day. Any day, they're going to come from Algonac. We're going to get another push of walleyes up through the system, and they're going to be 18, 20-inch walleyes. So, then we're coming. They've got the sormouth right now along the boardwalks right here in Port Huron. They're doing great on crawlers and small micro challengers. But I'd be running the small Latham Rapalas. You guys know that. I do have some challengers. I typically don't run them. I run crawlers on the bottom. I've talked about it because they got the sormouth this time of year, and they absolutely do. Last night I had a fish, and his mouth was so sore. When I pulled the fish in the boat, he spit the hook, and I got a hook here in my finger, and it was here and right there. So I had a walleye and my hand stuck together. And yes, they were all past the barb, and I'm not going to get too much into it, but it was terrible. I pulled the hooks out myself. But yes, there's a lot of walleyes in the system. You just got to go fishing. I know a lot of people are saying, man, it's slow, I'm not catching anything. And that goes for me too. I've been down to the boardwalks and I've only caught 1 or 2, and there's been nights I've caught none. But then there's been nights that we went down there and we've all caught our limit. You just got to go to know, okay? And jigging along the boardwalk is going to start slowing down. There's different techniques you're going to have to use to catch these fish. You can't do the same thing over and over and over and over and over again and expect that to keep producing fish all year long. It will always catch fish, but in the numbers, you got to change things up. You can't be scared to change things up. Night crawlers, good thing to use this time of year. Absolutely, fishing 18 inches off the bottom. Dragging crawlers, a lot of people start dragging those crawlers a month ago until all the way through the rest of the season, until it starts getting colder water temps again because of the sormouth. They love to hit those softer baits, right? They love to hit those crawlers close to the bottom. They're used to feeding off the bottom this time of year. That's why they get the sormouth. But jigging is still good. The Canadian side's on fire right now for jigging. Big fish too, big fish. I'm talking nice size fish. I'm not talking hog walleyes. I'm talking your typical 18 to 22 inch fish. lot of good fishing in the Canadian waters right now because they got that colder water temps. They got the bait fish over there. So when the bait fish come to this side, when we get the cooler water temps over here, then walleyes are going to be over here. When the walleyes push up the Roganek, we're going to have a run like we had 2 months ago. We're going to have a big run. It ain't going to be as long, but we're going to have a big run of fish, and it's going to be great. And then everything's going to be in the lake. You'll still get a few walleyes in the river, but everything's going to be in the lake, and that's just how it goes. The silverfish, the Atlantic salmon, they've moved on. A lot of people keep messing me. Well, how do I get those Atlantics? I haven't been fishing for them because there's still a few petering around, okay? But them big numbers, they're down Algonac, they're down into that North Channel, and you gotta access it with a boat. So you can still get some offshore down in Algonac. I know that. There's still some surfacing, still some porpoising, but they're starting to slow down in Algonac as well. So the Atlantic salmon, that's about done. Perch fishing right along the St. Clair River. Mouth Pine River's doing okay. I haven't heard many good reports. There has been some nice sized perch being caught in Marysville right at the boat launch, but not huge numbers, okay? A couple of guys get a couple nice days where they get good numbers, but the numbers just aren't there. But there's good fish, so if you want to go and catch 5 or 10, fish for a couple hours, get enough for a lunch, perfect place to go. Marysville boat launch, out there on their little pier they got there, good place to catch some perch. Lincoln Park has some big perch. Cast over towards the tugboat, and I promise you'll get some nice perch. Down along the boardwalk in Port Huron, you can catch them in different spots. Just hit your spots that you know, and if you know the spots, and get some perch. If you don't know the spots, it's just anywhere along the boardwalk. It's just how you gotta find them. You gotta find them. You're not gonna get big numbers off the boardwalk. Promise. A lot of perch out in the lake. We'll talk about that in a second. But up Black River, there's a lot of stuff going on. There's pike, there's bass, there's muskies, there's perch, there is catfish, there is all kinds of stuff going on up Black River. And that's where I'm going to start targeting. We're going to go do some bow fishing. I've talked about it many times. We're actually going to do some bow fishing real soon. But it's full of fish. It's a great place to take the kids fishing because you're always going to catch something. Just cast out a crawler on a perch rig and wait, and you will catch some fish, I promise. If you want to fish for the muskies and bass, use spinner baits, use bigger lures. Use Cleos, red and white Daredevil. Arctic spinners are awesome. They work great for pike, muskie, and bass. So get yourself some Arctic spinners. You can jig for them. You can do all kinds of different things to catch these fish. Tube baits, the tube jigs, them are great for the smallmouth bass. Up around that canal area and the canal mouth, that's where you're going to catch some pike and some bass. Promise you that. All the rock ledges, all the logs hanging over the water, the deep holes for the muskie where there is structure, the mouths of the marinas and docks, stuff like that. You guys know that bass fish what to hit. Seawalls, because they like to sit along those seawalls and wait for bait fish. Plus it's warmer along them, and Black River is just a great place to go catch all kinds of fish. So if you got a boat, go up Black River, hit all the spots. If you don't, go on shore, go where you can go, hit the spots you can hit, and you will catch fish. Perch right by the zero bar, there's a lot of perch there. You got to weave through a lot, but you can get a number of perch there. You can. On night crawlers or minnows, you can get perch there. Also down at the mouth of Black River, silver bass, perch, white perch, bass, small, there's all kinds of stuff going on down there. Black River is a good place to fish. So let's move up a little north. Let's go into Lake Huron, okay? I know there's perch around that all-weather buoy. I know there's perch around Lakeport State Park. I know there's perch out by Harris Road. I know there's perch in front of Lexington Harbor. I know there's perch just south of Lexington Harbor. And I'm talking good perch, big perch. You can get good numbers certain days. Other days it's going to be slow. You got to find them. Find the weed beds, find the bait fish, you get your perch. So we're going to get off the perch topic, but there's a lot of perch fishing going on right here. So if you know your spots, get to them. If you don't, like I said, look for the boats. You find the boats out there anchored up, that's where the perch are going to be. I promise you that, or close by. Don't get right on top of those guys. Give them some room. Find the next weed bed. There will be perch sitting on those too. And I know it's going to start moving up north there towards Sand Lake and Harbor Beach, and they're going to go out in a little bit deeper water. Right now they're in that 12 to 16 foot, and then in a week from now they'll be in 20 to 25 foot. So get on those perch while you can. I've already heard of a few perch being caught in 30 foot of water. So let's talk about the Atlantics, the cohos, the silverfish, and the lake trout, okay? Period. So everybody's saying you got to go to 110, 115. You hear it every year, the same time of year every year. Everybody says 115, and that's a good spot to fish. Me, I'm going to start in 40 foot of water and work my way out. I catch a lot of fish. Everybody's way out, and I catch a lot of fish in close. Start in close, work your way out. Find that bite, find where you're getting hits, and bang that area. Just wherever you're trolling and you catch fish, just bang that area. You don't have to go way out if you don't want to. I will. I don't care. I'll go out to 200 feet. I don't care if it takes me all day. But I'm going to start in 40 foot of water and troll out and zigzag the whole way until I find, because I know there's fish in close. A buddy of mine he did really well on cohos in 30 foot of water yesterday. So I'm going to tell you guys right now, don't be scared to hit 30 foot. Work your way out to that 100 foot of water. Absolutely. Typically, the lake trout, they're going to be in that 70 to 90. That's all year long. That's from spring all the way through summer. And, you know, you can always catch lake trout in 70 and 90 foot of water. Always, always. If you know your spots and you know where to go. If you don't, just zigzag. Watch your fish graph. Watch for bait fish. Watch for the scum line. You see the scum line, follow it. You're going to get steelhead, scammania. You're going to get lake trout. You're going to get cohos. Everything. You're going to get them on that scum line. Absolutely. So, as far as silver fishing goes, get out there and get trolling. They're getting fish. I'm going to be heading over to the west side of the state to get some big kings. And that's what I'm after. I want to catch some big kings. I've caught a lot of Atlantics. You guys seen I caught a lot of Atlantics, and that was a great time. Most Atlantics I've ever seen in my lifetime, ever, in St. Clair River. So that was absolutely amazing and fun and a great time. A lot of smallmouth fishing. I forgot that. A lot of smallmouth fishing action right now in St. Clair River. Bottom bounce. Use minnows. Use whatever bait you guys prefer. The crayfish work great. The crayfish are the smallmouth's favorite in my opinion. And I'm going to be doing a video on that again real soon like I did last year on here. And catch some of the big smallmouth right along St. Clair River again. Tons of smallmouth, muskie, and pike in St. Clair River as well. And we're going to start hitting those smallmouth here real soon. We're going to do some creek fishing videos real soon. The creek chubs, bullheads, you name it. They're in the creeks, bass, whatever we can catch in them farm side or them farm field ditches. We're going to go do videos on that as well. So keep going a little bit north. Head up towards Harbor Beach and Caseville area. You're going to get to a lot deeper water quicker. Start off in 30 foot, work your way up to 70 foot. 70 foot's been a great fishery in Harbor Beach. 70 and 80 foot's been great. I know that. But I know for a fact I could pound fish. And now when you're talking 70 and 80 foot in Harbor Beach, when I'm saying start off in 30 and work your way out to 70, it's not going to take you very long at all. So start off in 30, zigzag out to 70. Just cut on an angle to 70. Cut back into 40, go back out to 80, cut back into 50, go back out to 90. That's how I work it. That's how I work the system. I find where they're biting and then I pound that area. So same thing, lake trout, cohos, Atlantics, that's where you want to go. Steelhead. Sand Lake and Harbor Beach are always better because you get to deeper water, cooler water faster and find those temp breaks a lot quicker than you do in Lexington. Lexington, like a great big toilet bowl. It just stays so shallow for so long. It takes a long time to get to that deeper water. But there's good fishing in Lexington. You just got to go out a long ways. That 30 foot of water is different than 30 foot of water up there. It's way warmer. So those fish like to have cooler temps, and you guys know that. Inside the harbors, pike fishing is absolutely on fire. Arctic spinners have been that bait to go to. Smallmouth bass are up in there. Few muskies, but mainly pike and bass. They're doing great on pike and bass in all three harbors. Up towards Caseville, I know the bow fishing's going great. I know a lot of people are shooting big carp, big gars. Buffalo fish, all of that, they're doing great on those, just bow fishing, shooting them in the ditches, shooting them in close, they're boiling, they're spawning, and I'm going to take the kids to do some of that here locally here real soon. But other than that, all I can say about the walleye fishing is don't give up. It's going to get better. There's always these times where it gets low every year, but they always bite. People think they go in this lull where they stop biting. They don't. They always bite. Look at outside. It's a great big full moon. That slows things down. You guys got to look at everything else that you're not looking at, okay? Look at wind directions. We've had a lot of east in the winds. Last night we had a west in the wind. Fish started to pick up. They actually caught real good fish. The best fishing on the boardwalk right now is on the still rods. Absolutely on the still rods. Running those challengers, 5 foot from the bottom, and then running a crawler 18 inches off the bottom. That is the best fishing you're going to do right now on the boardwalk, and that's from the water bridge all the way down to the county building. That's how you're going to catch your fish right now. I promise you. The bigger numbers are coming off the heavy rods with night crawlers and with challengers, the micro mini challengers. So that's the best way to catch the walleyes right now. But that full moon glowing, that's a great big light bulb up there glowing, lighting that whole bottom up. The water is so clear. That has a huge effect on our walleye fishing. You guys got to remember that has a huge effect on all of our fishing. So earlier in the morning, like 4, 5, 6 o'clock in the morning, that's when you're getting your hottest bites out in the boat. That's when you're getting your hottest bites jigging. That's when you're getting your hottest bites for all of it. Right after dark, jigging. Right after dark, vertical jigging is the best. Better than the daytime by far. So just after dark you jig, where you normally jig in the daytime, you're going to catch more fish. just trust me on this. It's gonna happen, and that you're gonna catch way more fish that way. So the fish are always gonna bite. You just gotta figure out different patterns and different techniques to use to catch those fish. Like I said, we got another big push coming real soon. All them fish in Algonac, they're gonna come up this river real quick because it's gonna get real warm down there, and they're gonna push up towards the colder water, mouth of the lake, pushing that cooler water in, cooling that river down like I just talked about at the beginning of this video. It's cooling that river down all the way past the mouth of Black River. So they're going to fly up and they're going to stage up in there. And then when that gets too warm, they're going to fly out into the lake and head out there, and you'll get them out trolling in Lexington, Port Sanilac, Harbor Beach. You guys know this, that have done this. You're going to start trolling those walleyes. So that's about all I have for you for the fishing report for the week. The local ponds, take your kids there, fish for bluegills, bass. You guys know how to fish for fun in the ponds. We got an event tomorrow actually with Friends of Fishing. We're taking the special needs kids out to 40th Street Pond. We're gonna cook hot dogs and do stuff like that and let them catch some fish and have some fun. So thanks everybody again for watching Spars Outdoors, and we'll see you on the Thursday giveaway live right here. Got a lot of stuff that I want to talk about on that giveaway. So make sure you hit that like, make sure you hit that subscribe, and keep on watching Spars Outdoors. Thanks everybody for watching. Be sure to hit that like and subscribe and tap that bell for notifications when I post new videos and when my giveaways are coming. Thanks y'all.